Now class 11, today we'll start with the new chapter, that is hydrogen. And I think this thing you have, this chapter or this portion you have already discussed in your class 9th also. If you remember hydrogen, that it is the lightest element known. And if you see the symbol, it is H, its atomic number, if you remember, it is 1. So you know how to calculate the electronic configuration. You can write down 1s1. So it has one electron in its valence shell, and it's resemble with similar to the alkali metals as well as with the halogens. Okay, if you remember that hydrogen is the one which is it's kept in the alkali metals, with the alkali metals in first A or the first group you see, and with the halogens also in 17 group or 7th A, right? So but we don't follow that notation, the Roman ones, we follow the number numeric ones. So first group and 17 group. And you know that it needs the hydrogen has the tendency of both the things, it can lose one electrons, even it can gain one electrons. So once if it is losing losing one electron, then it acquire a positive charge, then it is being kept in the first group, it's behave as an alkali metal because it shows the properties of alkali metals. And if it's gaining one electron, it's acquire a negative charge over here. Now it's just like halogens also gain one electrons, if you remember, then they also gain one electron. So this way they behave as a halogen, they shows the properties similar to the halogen. That's why hydrogen has been kept in both the places, in first group also and even in the 17 group. So this is the electronic configuration where you can see when it's been behaving as a metal as well as the non-metal. Now let's see about the first part, ki when it resemble as an alkali metals, right? So first scenario we have seen over it, that they lose one electrons and they acquire a positive charge. So and its electronic configuration 1s1. If you see about this thing, sodium, so 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. So just they have 1s1, they have 3s1. So they are similar to this alkali metals in their electronic configuration, and they are monopositive. You know, these are also, when this particular Na will lose one electron, it require a positive charge. So what does it means? It means they are monopositive ions. So they are monopositive ions, right? This is the way why we say that they behave as an alkali metals. Then they have also electropositive characters also, है ना? electropositive ही तो है, positive charge है तो they are electropositive in characters. अब valencies की बात करें या valence electrons की बात करें, तो how many valence electrons are there? 1. इस केस में भी क्या है? 1 valence electron है. तो valence electrons भी सिमिलैरिटी है, एंड दे हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग एफिनिटी टू रिएक्ट विद द नॉन मेटल. जैसे H है, वो Cl के साथ रिएक्ट करेगा तो ईज़िली आपका जब ये इस फॉर्म में तो HCl बना लेगा, ठीक है ना? तो इनके साथ बहुत ईजिली इनका तुम्हें मालूम है HCl कैसे बनता है, या HCl की केस ऐसी NaCl इज़ वेरी प्रोमिनेंट बीन फॉर्म, KCl. सो दिस इज़ द वे हाउ वी कैन जज देम इन एल्कली मेटल्स. देन रिड्यूसिंग प्रॉपर्टीज ऑल्सो ना, दे हैव अ वेरी गुड रिड्यूसिंग प्रॉपर्टी. सो यू नो दैट सपोज कोई एक ऐसा ऑक्साइड है जिसमें आप हाइड्रोजन के साथ रिएक्ट कराओगे उसे, तो वो ईजिली उसमें से ऑक्सीजन रिमूव कर देता है और इसको रिड्यूस कर देता है ना, और वो खुद वाटर बना लेता है. तो ये एक प्रॉपर्टी और है आपकी कि इट बिहेव एज अ, और इट हैज़ अ रिड्यूसिंग प्रॉपर्टीज़, ठीक है? तो दीज आर द प्रॉपर्टीज विच यू हैव टू फोकस व्हेन दे बिहेव एज एन एल्कली मेटल्स. नाउ लेट्स फोकस ऑन व्हेन दे रिजेंबल एज हैलोजेंस, व्हाट विल द सीन or what properties will they show. So if you remember halogens, the halogens always gain electrons, na? That's why they acquire a positive. There is Cl, it's gaining one electron, it will acquire a negative charge. Again they have if you see their electronic configuration, then only we can understand that H cases 1H1. If you focus upon fluorine, then it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5 is there, राइट? सो दे हैव वन इलेक्ट्रॉन शॉर्ट हुआ है, इनके पास भी एक इलेक्ट्रॉन की कमी है, इधर भी एक इलेक्ट्रॉन की कमी है. ये कंडीशन है. तो दैट्स वाई दे एक्वायर अ नेगेटिव चार्ज. तो नेगेटिव एक्वायर करने के मतलब क्या, और एक ही चार्ज, एक नेगेटिव चार्ज लग रहा है, तो मोनो नेगेटिव आयन्स दे विल फॉर्म. व्हाट दे विल फॉर्म? मोनो नेगेटिव आयन. ठीक है, दे विल फॉर्म अ मोनो नेगेटिव आयन। अब ना एटॉमिसिटी भी देख लो, इसमें एटॉमिसिटी काउंट करेगी, वहाँ पे नहीं कर रही थी क्योंकि हम कभी भी Na2 नहीं बनाते हैं ना, बट ओवर हियर वी फॉर्म Cl2, F2 इज़ देयर, H2 इज़ देयर। तो एटॉमिसिटी कितनी है यहाँ पे, देयर आर 2 एटम्स आर देयर, सो डाई एटॉमिक in nature, ठीक है। So they resemble in this manner. Then formation of mononegative ion we have already discussed. Now they have a non-metallic characters ना, जैसे halogens have the non-metallic characters, they also possess the non-metallic characters. Then if you talk about their scenarios of ionization energy, what do you think about ionization energy in this case? So in this case, when you talk about the ionization energy, then they have a high ionization energy na, so they have high ionization energy, they are bad conductors of heat and electricity, so these things can be there. And what about the liberations of anode? You know they are negatively charged. If you see cathodes, you have anode and cathode is been there, so they being negatively charged, they possess a negative charge ions on them, then they will be migrating towards which side, towards the anode side, because anode is what, always positive है ना, एनोड इज पॉजिटिव होता है, तो ये नेगेटिव चार्ज है, तो दे विल माइग्रेट टुवर्ड्स एनोड। तो दिस ऑल्सो यू कैन हैव अ लुक, दे ऑल्सो कंबाइन विद द मेटल्स। आपके पास एग्जांपल्स हैं, जैसे वहाँ पे वो नॉन मेटल के साथ कंबाइन कर रहा था, यहाँ पे वो मेटल्स के साथ कंबाइन करता है। और आपका जैसे ये है NaH हो सकता है ना, ये भी बनाता है, हाइड्राइड्स होते हैं, ये इस साल से कोर्स से हट गया, बट इट हैज़ दिस थिंग possibility also, ठीक है। they are also combining with the non-metals. So these are the scenarios why you place them, or this particular hydrogen resembles as well as metals as well as non-metals. So now let's come about its occurrence also, a short idea of it. Now if we talk about occurrence of hydrogen, then you know that hydrogen is one of the most abundant element that is present in the universe. So you know the sun mass, half of the mass of the sun is being occupied by हाइड्रोजन। स्टार्स आर ऑल्सो मेड अप ऑफ हाइड्रोजन, है ना, वो रोशनी जो देते हैं वो रिएक्शन होता है उसमें हाइड्रोजन्स के वजह से, एंड दिस इज अ न्यूक्लियर फिजन रिएक्शन दैट अकर्स। वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू एन आइडिया। सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट द लाइट इज़ बीन ऑलवेज लिबरेटिंग फ्रॉम द सन। तो वो एक न्यूक्लियर रिएक्शन है जो हमेशा होता रहता है, अनस्टॉपेबल है, इसीलिए सन जो है हमें इतना गर्म होता है, रोशनी देता है, ठीक है। देन यू सी अबाउट द कोर ऑफ द सन, because that if you talk about 35% of it is being occupied by hydrogen, chromosphere is also being occupied by your 55% of it being occupied by hydrogen by mass. So they are also present in combined states on they are not present in the free state, because you know that hydrogen is very reactive. If it's be there in the atmosphere, it will react with the oxygen, है ना, and it catches fire. So don't think that in earth it will be in a free state. They are not present in the free state because they are always in the combined states, but they are also coming out in forms of gases from when the volcano has been erupted, or from coal mines is there, or oil wells are there. They contain free hydrogen. That's why a lot of precaution is being kept there because it's highly reactive. So when you talk about the earth, it's been present in the combined state in water, in coal it's been there, then petroleum, clay, in animals and vegetables, matter. So it's been there. If you talk about in the earth crust, it's a ninth element that is present in the earth crust. So this way you can have a this thing, that how the hydrogen is been present. Now let's talk about the isotopes of hydrogen. I think in class 9th also you have discussed about the isotopes of hydrogen, and in that you remember the protonium. I'm writing down first. So this way you see that plutonium is there, deuterium is there, tritanium is there. Then the symbols will be same because they are the isotopes of hydrogen. You remember what is isotope. Last year the definition of isotopes have been come. So you should remember that what is isotopes, and if you remember it, you know that they are the atoms of an element which have same atomic number but different mass numbers. So that is isotopes. We are talking about these things, and from this I will tell you about this thing, how much atomic mass is there, or the atomic number is there and mass numbers is there. So you just see over here, the atomic number is 1, mass number is 1. Over here atomic number is 1, mass number is -2, this thing you know. So by this you can easily calculate the number of protons also, neutrons also, and electrons also, and atomic structures also. Nobody will ask you, but you should have, and okay, these things you should know the names, you should know the symbols, and you should know how to calculate the number of electrons, protons, and neutrons. So I think this thing you can learn it from the table from your book also. Now we'll talk about the preparations of dihydrogen. Why we are calling it dihydrogen? Two atoms of hydrogen is there. So first from the water, if you focus. So from water may by action of metals you can focus of it. So very active metals are there, less active metals are there. You remember that how these things are happening. So very active metals, you know, very active metals, they are this thing sodium. I'm just giving you one. They reacts with the water, and when they react with the water they form you in basic oxide and H2. If you see like that, a general formula: active metal reacts with water, give you a base and H2. So this formula you can write, and by this you can easily, it's a general method of writing it, and you can easily format it. You can balance it by your own. Put 2 over here for balancing 2, then 2 over here in NaOH, and 2 this side. So this way, and please make the show that what are the active metals which you will use. They can be A, it can be Na. Now let's talk about less active metal. If you talk about, then Mg plus H2, again with heat it gives you an oxide, Mg oxide plus hydrogen. So please see what are the less active. Al is there, Mg is there, Zn is there. So these are the examples which you can put it over here. You know how to balance and write the equation. So heat is must. Then metals there are also there which require high temperature. So metals like metals required high temperature, they are Fe, nickel is there, cobalt is there, Pb is there, Sn is there, right? So how they do, they all form the metals, then they react with the water. Rule you can write down, and in some cases there is reversible reaction. Oxide is being formed, metal oxide, your metallic oxide will be formed, and hydrogen gas will be liberated up. So high temperature we are talking about Fe, water case. This water will be in the form of steam, and you have to remember that it will be in the form of steam, right? And then it will form its Fe3O4 plus 4H2 will be there. 4 will be here, then balancing 3 will be here. Now this thing you can see action of the hydrides. Hydrides when react with water give you metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. This is the rule I have written, so you can learn it. Now let's come to the electrolysis part. When water is being electrolyzed, or it goes for electrolysis, the gases from which it has been formed, it has been, you are getting that 2:1 ratio has been there. So please focus on it. But you have to remember a small amount of acid or base is also added, so that this method is being used. But this method is quite expensive because you need a large amount of electricity for that, so it costs high this thing. So we always prefer a cheap method for production of H2. Now let's focus on its action of steam on hydrocarbons and cokes. So this is also, it's a commercial method, so any of the hydrocarbons you can use. So I am taking this hydrocarbon which reacts, it's been there in your book only. So temperature has been there, catalyst has been there. So it gives you a, if you remember class 10th also, this type of reaction you have seen of water gas, right? So this is a water gas. This particular event कार्बन प्लस वाटर ये स्टीम के फॉर्म में रहेगा. This also gives you carbon monoxide gas, right? This is also what? Water gas. So this is also a way of, it's a mixture of dihydrogen, and this thing is being carbon monoxide been there. This is used for the manufacturing of H2 by Bosch process. तो this way also you can have from acids also. Acid तो बहुत prominent examples, अगर आपको याद हो आपने कोई भी मेटेरियल यूज़ करा था जो कि आपने किसी भी एसिड के साथ सपोज करो HCl के साथ रिएक्ट करा है, तो ZnCl2 plus H2 this was formed with Zn plus H2SO4 you can use ZnSO4 plus H2. So this thing you can use Zn for that, you can use Fe for that, है ना. ये एक्वस कंडीशन में होंगी ना, क्योंकि वाटर में करते हैं डाइल्यूट फॉर्म में होते हैं. ये एक्वस मैंने इसीलिए लिखा है क्योंकि जो एसिड आप यूज लेंगे कोई भी डाइल्यूट मिनरल एसिड पर, प्लीज़ फोकस डोंट यूज़ HNO3, यूज़ HCl एंड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड. ठीक है, सो दिस वे यू कैन फोकस. फिर फ्रॉम एल्केलीज ऑल्सो यू कैन यूज़ एल्केलीज ऑल्सो, लाइक एल्केलीज में मेटल आप यूज़ करिए. आपको एनालिटिकल केमिस्ट्री क्लास 10th का है और इसमें NaOH का इस्तेमाल आप करेंगे तो आपको सॉल्ट देगा. ठीक है, और H2 कोई भी कॉम्प्लेक्स सॉल्ट बनाया गया है आपका, कॉम्प्लेक्स सॉल्ट होता है ना. जैसे आपने Na के साथ देखा था, Na प्लस Al के साथ देखा था, Zn के साथ देखा था. इसमें Al प्लस NaOH आप ले लीजिए. ठीक है, आप इसको वाटर, उसमें तो आपने वाटर का इस्तेमाल करा था तो आपको सोडियम सिंग एल्यूमिनेट मिला था. So this way we can balance. Can use other thing also, Zn plus NaOH. So sodium zincate will be formed. Sn के साथ आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं. तो Na2Zn O3. So it is sodium stannate will be formed. You can also make it with lead. So lead also you can use. Now let's talk about the lab method also. For it lab method आप ले लीजिए. lab method बहुत prominent है, यही वाला है. zinc plus H2SO4 in dilute condition you will use. So ZnSO4 plus H2, है ना. ये चीज़ आपकी हो जाएगी. ये रिएक्शन ऐसा होता है, इसमें जिंक जो आप यूज़ करेंगे, दिस विल बी अ ग्रैन्यूलेटेड जिंक यू विल यूज़, है ना. इट्स प्योर जिंक इज़ नॉट यूज बिकॉज हम लोग ने हमेशा ग्रैनुलेटेड यूज़ करा था और वुल्फ बॉटल में ये यूज़ करा जाता था ना. पूरी चीज़ हमारी क्लास में डाउनवर्ड हाइड्रोजन गैस जो है डाउनवर्ड डिस्प्लेसमेंट के थ्रू कलेक्ट करी जाती है. अब वाई वी आर नॉट यूजिंग प्योर जिंक हो गई, वाई वी आर यूजिंग ग्रैनुलेटेड जिंक, बिकॉज द प्योर जिंक इज़ नॉट पोरस, इट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स नॉन पोरस नेचर, है ना. हमें एक पोरस जो ग्रैनुलेटेड जिंक होता है वो पोरस होता है, तो वो उसमें इम्प्योरिटी होती है थोड़ी, तो इसीलिए वो थोड़ा प्योर होता है. इसीलिए हम एक ग्रैनुलेटेड इम्प्योर ग्रैनुलेटेड जिंक यूज़ करेंगे, बिकॉज प्रेजेंस ऑफ इम्प्योरिटीज़ जो होता है वो उसको जिंक को थोड़ा पोरस बना देता है और रिएक्शन थोड़ी फास्ट होती है. ठीक है, फ्रॉम दिस केमिकल कपल्स. इसीलिए फिर कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड इज़ नॉट यूज. वाई वी आर यूजिंग डाइल्यूट दिस थिंग, है ना. वी आर नॉट यूजिंग कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड बट वी आर यूजिंग डाइल्यूट सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड, क्योंकि हम लोग जो है जब कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड यूज़ करते हैं तो वी विल नॉट गेट हाइड्रोजन गैस, वी विल गैस SO2 गैस इंस्टेड ऑफ हाइड्रोजन गैस. सो इट इज़ अ रीजनिंग क्वेश्चन. दीज टू क्वेश्चंस आर इम्पॉर्टेंट. कि एक क्वेश्चन है why I am writing questions. Okay, so these two questions you have to write down. Whatever I've spoken just now, you have to write down. I think this much is been clear to you. We have discussed about a small ideas of preparations, general methods, lab methods. We have done about certain occurrence, isotopes, and introductory portion. Why hydrogen resembles as metals and why it resembles with the alkalis metals and why it resemble as a halogens. So these portions please cover it, and next things we will discuss in the next videos.